Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to do a episode where it's directed towards video game developers because I feel like at times developers come out with video games, but they don't want to work on them. And I've mentioned companies like Ubisoft, 2K, EA. I feel like they're trying to build a foundation, but still they're in that category of like developers that in my eyes it seems like that they're careless with their game. They don't care, because my thing is this: if they did, you wouldn't see people review bombing the game, saying bad things about it. You would see Fortnite streamers, Call of Duty streamers, League of Legends streamers, WoW streamers. You would see all these different people all across the world playing these games that I will be talking about. But I mean, like, it's no particular game, but there are some. Well, there is actually one game where it's actually the motivation behind this podcast episode, and that's the thing where it's like, even if it is just one person asking for it, still add that into the game. It shouldn't take a whole crowd of people or your whole fan base to say, hey, you guys need to add this feature in the game, because one video game that tried doing some stuff like that, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Look at that game. How many people are playing that game? I don't know about Steam, or not Steam, but PlayStation and Xbox. But let's see how many people are playing that game on Steam. Maybe it might be in the hundreds. Maybe it might be in the thousands. I don't know. But, okay, no, it is in the hundreds. 209 people are in the game right now. So the game still has somewhat of a fan base. But it could be better. And that's the thing. When it's like, when developers, when they act like that they don't care about their games, I'm like, okay, well, then that's how the fans are going to be. And that's something where I'm like, a developer or anybody can argue with me about that. Look at how many video games that exist in this generation of gaming. I was trying to think of the word generation, but it just wasn't coming to mind and stuff. But anyways, think of the amount of games in this generation that exist on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. Think of all these different video games. But when you see these games, and then you see games like Mario Kart or Legend of Zelda, or I'm like, yeah, like Nintendo based games. Because see, here's the thing with Nintendo, I feel like that with them, they're like, it's unheard of them coming out with a bad game. They've came out with frustrating games, but there's never been a time where they came out with a game that's been buggy, glitchy, like just even playing Mario Kart World. And because what was the last Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that came out in 2016? I think it came out before that, and then they just put it on Switch. So let me see when the release date for that game was. Mario Kart 8. So the game did. So it came out in 2014. Then it came out again in 2017. So that was like when it was the 8 Deluxe. So okay, so yeah, there was like, so that's when. So wait, 8 Deluxe, that was also 8, and then okay, all right, it's making sense now. But anyways, but that was the thing though. It was, even when it was just Mario Kart 8 and they didn't have like the deluxe and all that stuff, it's still, I didn't hear nothing. That's one thing that I had to say throughout the years of me being a gamer. I've never heard a bad thing about Nintendo. From Nintendo 64, from my friends that had a GameCube, from the Wii, from the Wii U, I'm trying to think, the Nintendo DS, Game Boys. It doesn't matter what console, the Nintendo Switch. I mean, I had to say, like, there were some games that were poorly optimized, but other than that, it's like, fam, and I just think that that's because they're trying to put a game that's not compatible on the Switch, and I'm like, but when you look at games that are compatible on the Switch, they work perfectly fine. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it really trips me out though, where it's like you see stuff like that, and you see where it's like companies that's either been around around the same time, or maybe it's like they might be a little younger than companies like Nintendo, but still, it's like you guys got enough history behind you to where it should be unheard of for you guys to release a bad video game or a buggy, glitchy video game. And my question is who are you guys hiring to work on these games? Because I don't know if it's like a developing team, like let's say EA for an example, and they're coming out with another Madden game. I don't know if it's that you guys are hiring a different like crowd of developers, or if it's just the same developers. But regardless, what are you doing that's not, I guess, that it can't be equal to what Nintendo is doing? you know. And so that's why, and that's the thing where I'm not trying to hear like, oh, we don't have enough money like Nintendo, we don't have resources like Nintendo. But you guys, how much? Hold on for a second. Maybe it might not be around the same amount. But my thing is this: if you guys are making over, like, if you're making millions of dollars a year, I ain't hearing that. So, anyways, wait a minute. How much does EA make a year? In its most recent fiscal year, Electronic Arts generated approximately $7.4 billion in revenue. I'm not hearing nothing about you guys not having no money or resources to come out with a game. When you guys are making $7 billion, okay, and so let's see how many employees, wait a minute, I missed, employees does EA have? 14,000 for, all right, so let's divide that into, and I imagine that, you know, there's gonna be some people making, but let's just divide 7.4 billion into 14,500. Where's my calculator at? Okay, so 7.4 billion. No, that's not. Okay, guys, yeah, I messed up. Wait a minute, messed up again. 7 0 0 0. Okay, that's 7,074,700. 7 point divided by 14,500. And I know that that's not the case, but every employee would be making $510,000 at EA. I'm saying, are you guys hiring? Because if that's the case, I want some of that. All right, I want some of that. I might have did that math wrong, but I'm like, yeah, I want some of that money. All right, but my thing is this: if I'm getting that much money a year, right, to where it's like I can work for EA for like the same amount of years that I worked at that cafe, or even the same amount of years I've been a content creator, still, there should be no excuses on me making that much money and not coming out with a good game. That just seems like that would be unheard of, where you got developers that's on like Steam, or even if it's like console like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, where it's like, and I wonder how much does Nintendo, I imagine they make a lot more, but anyways, how much does Nintendo make a year? So Nintendo, so there was like, it's not by that much, $11 billion. So yeah, it's like a few more billions above, but still though, it's like it's you guys are still in that ballpark. It's not like they're using all of that money to make a video game. They're most likely, I wonder how much was the budget for Mario Kart World? Potentially in the tens of millions of dollars. Okay, so they like, so yeah, let's say they put 40-50 million dollars into that game, right, into developing that game. I imagine that if you're putting tens of millions of dollars into that game, and I wonder how much is the budget for Madden. How much is the budget for Madden? Let's just see. 5 million to 10 million. All right, so, and my thing is this: if you guys need to put more money into the game, then okay, then do that. But overall, at the end of the day, there should be no excuses on why you guys are coming out with games that are not good, where you're making that much money, yet you're still asking for more money from the fans. And meanwhile, it's like, that's unheard of with Nintendo. Like, I had to check and see. It seems like with a lot of the Nintendo games, they don't have like a gang of DLCs, season passes. What are some other things that like like a million cosmetic things for you, unless it's like a game that's that has that and then it got released on Switch or on Nintendo. But overall though, it's like, yeah, Nintendo, they don't be doing that with their games. So that's why I'm like, it's yeah, they might release a DLC here and there, but at the end of the day, it's like you see, or even if it's games, and just a game to just mention real quick, I'm like, it is on Switch, but it's not a Nintendo based game. But you see how they're not trying to release a game every year. They realize that they made a mistake when they released their game. It's a game that I've been playing a lot of recently, and I've been having the most amount of fun with it. But anyways, No Man's Sky. That's a game where it's like, when you seen how that game came out when it very first came out, and then you see it now, Why is it that companies can't do that with their games? Why is it that you guys think like, oh, okay, well, let's just ignore what the fans are saying and just come out with another game? That's what's gonna make them happy. Spending another $60, and then if it's games like Madden or NBA 2K, you're spending the 70 or however much money where they come out with them special editions and stuff. But it's like, let's say, yeah, you buy the special edition, and then you're buying like the in-game currency or packs and all this other stuff. How much money do you think? You're probably putting well over $1,000 into 2K games and EA games. Maybe not as much with EA. I feel like that, yeah, if you're doing one of those like pack opening stuff, then yeah, you're probably putting thousands of dollars into EA games. And same with 2K if you're doing those pack openings. But it's like, why can you guys not just come out with core gameplay that's good? That's why I'm like, because with Madden, I'm saying it's like you guys can have it where there's more practice stuff. There's like some mini games that we can play. Have it where there's like a coach mode in the game where it's like you're standing on the sidelines and you're just kind of watching the players go back and forth and things, but you're coaching them and you can very well have that. Even have it where it be on some new technology where you can use your headset to coach the players and be all like, hey, player such and such, guard, like whether it's Madden or 2K, but you be like, hey, guard this player, protect the quarterback, or do this or do that. I'm saying it could be anything, but overall it could be from that. It could be from where it's like, you just let a play go through, you gain XP as a coach, and then yeah, your contract goes up a little bit more, you make a little bit more money, and then maybe if it's a situation where you don't make it to the Super Bowl, the team does, or yeah, the owners decide to let you go and things, you go to another team, or you after your contract expires, you go to another team. Regardless, there are so many different things that that could be added into the games. I'm saying make it to where the games are a little bit more violent, where it's like you're getting into fights with other players. I mean, EA, it seemed like that they tried to do that, but it's like it wasn't like, oh, you can punch this guy in the face and then like, the like everybody's getting into a big old giant brawl and stuff. Referees is throwing their hats and things. They're not doing all of that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, if you guys just did more to the games, these games would be so much more funner. So that's why it really trips me out where you guys come out with these games. And the funny thing is that they can say some stuff like, oh, well, we know that kids play the game, so that's why we don't add no fighting mechanics and stuff. Nintendo has a whole game based off of fighting with all these different characters. They're meant for, I guess, kids in a way. Mario, I ain't never seen no rated R Mario movie, but I know that they probably got some rated R football movies out there. I'm trying to think of some other situations, but I'm like, Legend of Zelda, there ain't no rated R rated M video game, but they still got like fight mechanics and all that other stuff. So that's why I'm like, fam, at the end of the day, if you say like, warning, this game has like some fighting stuff, or just allow it to where it's the parent that's telling them, hey, yeah, they might have it where they get into fights in these games, but you can't do that stuff in real life. Like, there's consequences and repercussions behind that, but keep it in the video game. Have fun in the video game. I'm saying there's like, if it was left up to me on to developing a video game, I'm telling you right now, people, it would be one of those things where I'll be scrolling through social media, I'll see a picture of myself and I'm like, oh, what's this all about? People will probably be saying that I am the best thing that's ever happened to gaming, because the amount of ideas that I have, the depths that I would go to making sure of it, that a game comes out and is good, having it where I'm literally standing over these developers, making sure of it, that you guys are putting out a good game, taking away that in-game currency crap. Like, because I know people would probably ask, like, okay, so let's say you got involved in NBA 2K, how would you change, or just overall 2K, how would you change 2K? So VC, that's ending. I'm like, whatever is the last 2K game, I'm like, that will be the last time you guys will ever see VC again. VC is no longer. If you want to have it where, I guess, like, yeah, you want to get like packs and all that stuff, we're gonna have it set up where both Ultimate Team, you pretty much gonna have to grind for that stuff. And if you put it on the hardest difficulties, then you're gonna get or have it set up on some stuff where it's like so for Ultimate Team, we're gonna have it where there's the team builder mode where you're building your team, but you're going up against like these like elite teams and stuff. So yeah, have it where you're going against like championship bound Lakers, championship Chicago Bulls. So you could get like key players from these teams. But yeah, have it where it's like there's just all these different eras of like so if you're wanting to get, I'm trying to think, Blake Griffin when he was with the Clippers. I was like, bro, it's a team that starts with the C. But I'm like, you want to get prime Blake Griffin. So I'm like, okay, you gotta play up against Clippers in this time frame, and then that's how you get Blake Griffin. But it's like and it's like if you get like and then maybe have it set up where it's like, there's like bronze, silver, and gold. So like if you get bronze, then it's like it's not prime Blake Griffin, but you're still getting Blake Griffin. It might be like maybe his rookie season or a different era of Blake Griffin and stuff. But overall though, that's what you're gonna be getting. And then same with like all the other different teams. So it's like, yeah, it's just gonna be each team each year with all these different basketball players and stuff, having it set up where you have to beat them teams. And if I and I don't know, I'm still kind of debating like on like the bronze, silver, gold situation. But just yeah, if you overall beat the team, you get the best player off of that team. And then it's like if you want to get like another player off of that team, then yeah, it's like you just have to keep playing against that. Well, maybe not keep playing against the team, but or have it where it's like the team is unlocked. So it's like, but then also have it where it's like you to have it where these players get better, or even have it on some stuff like that too. So have it where you play against the team, you unlock the team, you could say whatever player you want from the team, but you have to level them up. So that's just overall, it just gives you a reason to keep playing the game. So you can either play it offline or play it online against people. Probably have it where it's like you get double the points if you play against people, but then get half the points when you play offline and stuff. But overall though, I'm gonna have it set up where that's the only 2K that's coming out on the generation of consoles. We ain't doing that yearly crap. So that's what I would do for Ultimate Team. My career, I would have it set up where you earn contracts. VC is gone, so your character is earning $1 million contracts. Tens of millions, hundreds of millions, whichever and stuff. Just as long as he's playing good and he's out there killing it and things, then yeah. And then with that, but I know people are gonna probably be all like, oh, so how with the I guess like leveling up would be and stuff. So I'm like, so if your character, and I will have it where it's kind of like the game works around whatever your play style is. So if you're good at if you want your character to be somebody that dunks, then yeah, then I'll have it where it's like, okay, you choose like point guard, shooting guard, what type of point guard. So that's one thing that I do like about 2K is that they have it where it's like you work when you're building your player and stuff, they have it where it's like, okay, so he plays like Steph Curry but moves like this player but does this like this player and stuff. So I definitely will have it. I'm like, whatever stuff that you do. So if you break a character's ankles, you get better at that and things, and then that levels up and stuff. Shooting, have it where that every time when you make a shot, that levels up, so it gets better. So yeah, I probably would have it set up where it's like, you might miss a couple of shots here and there and stuff, but overall it ain't gonna be on no stuff where you're missing some of the most easiest shots possible and things. So yeah, I definitely would have it where the shooting is built a lot better. So it's, I guess, like have it where it's like a easy, medium, and hard. So if you play it on easy, you're making all your shots. If you play it on medium, you're gonna be it's gonna kind of be like a half and half like situation. If you play it on hard, it's gonna be pretty much you gotta build your player up to have it where he's making all of his shots and things, but he is gonna be missing a lot of shots, probably missing more than he's making and stuff if you play on hard. But if you play on easy, you're making all your shots. Probably have it where it's like you don't level up as fast. Probably have it where it's like you'll have to play like a few seasons to make sure of it that your player is good and stuff, and then have it where it's afterwards. It's pretty much, because my thing is this: I know that this game's gonna be out for a while, so I definitely will have it where it's a grind fest, just to have it where it's overall people are playing the game, and then it's like, okay, I beat the game, I did everything that I need to do, now what do I do? So yeah, but I'll have it where there's badges that you can earn, trophies that you can earn, accomplishments, accolades, all that stuff. There's all these different things. I will probably make this into the biggest NBA 2K game of all time. And then when the next generations of consoles come out, it's pretty much just the same thing all over again. So it's like, it's just, but yeah, it just keeps getting remastered. And then I guess like if people are like, oh, I want to earn VC, I want to be able to go through stuff faster, then I'm like, all right, if you guys want that, my thing is this. Key thing about this, though, listening to the fans. All that stuff that I said, that stuff that I've been saying and that fans have been saying for years now, all right? So if fans wanted VC, I'm like, okay, we're going to add VC back in the game if you want to just hurry up and get through stuff mad fast and things. But and then if that's the case, if I know that I'm going to be making a whole lot of money, yeah, it's like game's going to be at probably $59.99 or $69.99, but there ain't gonna be no DLCs, there ain't gonna be no season passes, there ain't gonna be none of that stuff. If you want jerseys, if you want all these different things, so yeah, maybe have it where it's like if you want like a Michael Jordan jersey, you have to play against Michael Jordan and stuff to get his jerseys for whatever team that he played on. And then or have it where it's like if your character has the money for it, so yeah, let's say yeah, jersey in the game is or in real life is $200. That's how much it's gonna be in the video game. So it's gonna be a $200 jersey. Same with sneakers. If you have the money for it, if you're making a lot of money, probably have it where it's like after a game you get paid like however much money. So like let's say if your character he's on a 1 year $5 million contract. So I'm like, so 1 year, I'm trying to think how much. Hold on for a second. Let me do that math real quick. 5 million. Hold on for a second. 5 million divided by 12. I think that's how that would go. 12. 400. So I guess like each month. Well, no, then all right. So then that divided by 30 days or something. So all right, so $13,000 a day, but it's like most likely he'll get paid like it'll probably be because it'll be like every other game, so it'll probably be like double that or something. So it's like what, $26,000 a game. So at least then it's like you could get whatever jerseys you want, whatever clothes you want, shoes you want. You know, if you want your character, because I probably would add that too, where it's like a My City situation, but it's like a big giant city and stuff. So if your character, if you want to get yourself a car, probably won't have it where the cars are licensed in the game, but I guess if companies want their cars to be sponsored or shown off in the game, then yeah, we'll add some like an Escalade or whatever and things. Have some street basketball, so your character will have to get some street clothes, play up against some locals, so it'll just probably be some randomly generated characters. And then have it where it's like, you know, if you can't wait for the next game to like, you know, level up your character, you could play some street games, build a little bit of popularity with yourself and things. I would make this the most deep in depth, like it pretty much would be a basketball simulation, you know, but it ain't gonna be like, oh, a casino simulation of how much money you could give the 2K and stuff. So anyways, yeah, I'm like, I should do that into a video, like how I would save the brand 2K, because yeah, I'm telling you, all that stuff that I came up with, I guarantee and I promise you, let 2K come out with some stuff like that, 2K will be back on the map. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, you viewing this on YouTube, follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service, and peace.